Hello everybody, it is another UCL review, match day 5, where we saw an absolute demolition from Arsenal and Manchester United. Oh my god, this guy, oh my god, we're going to discuss it all. Dortmund picking up a critical win in Milan, Feyenoord out of the Champions League, PSV epic comeback. There's a lot to get to. We'll be here for about an hour and a half, people, so if you're watching on replay, give me your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and of course, there'll be timestamps, so if you want to follow Group H, Group A, Group B, all that good stuff, you'll be in the timestamps. And big up to everybody in the chat already. Let's get it up to 20 likes if we can do that. Big up to Jeff. Jeff, you're a wild man, bro. Jeff, you're a wild man, but I like it. Big up to Sebastian. Big up Wicked Tiki. How you doing? Big up Matt. How you doing? Sebastian, mä oon paras. Ilta. Ootko menossa se hoikopeli? Sano mulle, jos oot menossa. Big up Wicked Tiki. Big up Doug. How you doing? Yeah, I'm going to the game, Doug, so that's why I got to hurry up today. Big up to Zui. How you doing? Good afternoon, buddy. Voi helvetti, joo. Harmi, mä oon paras. Harmi. Ai. Onneksi. Toivotaan, se on hyvä leikkaus, kun tuo AC on vittu paha. Se on vittu paha. Ai saatana. Yeah, guys, give some prayers to my paras, because he's having an ACL surgery tomorrow. That's probably the worst you can have. Honestly, the worst you can have. But hopefully Paras has a good surgery. But everybody, we're going to start with the action from Tuesday. We work our way to Wednesday. And I'm pretty sure the last game we're going to talk about is Man United and Galatasaray, because that might have been the game of... We've had a lot of good games in the Champions League this season. That one was insanity. But we got to go back to Tuesday as Barcelona, our first place in the group. They beat Porto. Not the greatest performance, I would say, from Barcelona. First half, I mean, Porto had chances again. This is almost a carbon copy of what happened in Porto, although Barca were a bit better compared to what they were in Porto. And Pepe gets the opening goal. I think for Barca, they just struggled a lot with, especially how Porto are just so good in transition. That was the issue. Barca did not know how to handle it. Porto played a fantastic game in the first half, and they get the goal. But the problem is, Barca still have a lot of quality. And that goal from João Cancelo, former Benfica guy doing against Porto, that was a golazo. Absolute golazo from Cancelo. Nothing the keeper could do about it. And then Felix shows up, who hasn't scored, I think, since September, if I'm not mistaken. It's been since September since he scored. 2-1 for Barca. They were a lot better in the second half. They controlled the game more. They created chances. Even Felix hit the crossbar. Porto did have that one chance off the line with about 10, 20 minutes to go. But to be honest, I think Barca were deserving winners of the game. It got a little bit nervy. I thought, oh man, Porto early lead with Pepe. You know, they were creating chances. I was like, this is not looking good for Barca. And Xavi could be under serious pressure. They come out with the victory. Was it as convincing maybe as Barca fans would hope for? No. Do they look like they're going in the right direction? Not really. But I think they can use that second half and Felix finally getting a goal and thinking to themselves, all right, now this is where our season begins. Because they have been struggling lately, especially with goals and conceding a lot of chances, especially with Ter Stegen out injured for I don't know how many weeks now. But they got the victory, and that was the number one thing. I think for Porto, it just all comes down to that last game against Shakhtar. If they win or if they draw, they are into the round of 16. And I think they would have taken it, especially in this group with Barcelona, who have been pretty good all season. But for Porto, you know, they did have a couple chances. And if they thought to themselves, oh, if we just won that game at home, this could have been a totally different story. Totally different story. But do we trust Barca to make it to a semis with this team right now? At least they're able to rest some players for the last group stage game away at Antwerp. Like, they can do it because Antwerp are just not that great of a team. I think they can do that and get a little bit more healthy heading into very tough stretch now. Barca have Atletico and Girona in back-to-back games. That is not good at all. And the other game in the group saw Shakhtar beat Antwerp 1-0 in Hamburg. Matvienko with the only goal of the game with a header from, I think it was a free kick, if memory serves me right. I couldn't remember exactly. There's been a lot of games, people. Shakhtar, again, dominating side in the first half. The second half, the last 10 minutes, Antwerp just threw everybody forward. Everybody. Alderweireld had a great chance. I think it was Veerman had a great chance. They had all sorts of chances on top in the last 10 minutes, but they couldn't find the goal. Shakhtar, again, they keep a clean sheet, and they're with a chance now. Shakhtar are with a chance in this group to finish second, which would be, I think, sensational. I mean, honestly, somehow this team would finish first. So if you guys don't know what is down, what are the implications now for the last game of the group? It is Porto Shakhtar. All Shakhtar have to do, they have to win the game. As simple as that. Porto, it's enough for them to draw. If they do not draw, if they lose, Porto are out and drop down to the Europa League. So it is a knockout stage game, as you can see there. But of course, Porto have the head-to-head as they beat Shakhtar in the first game in Hamburg. And Barcelona are through as group winners. Even though it didn't look the greatest, they did struggle in a couple games, especially against Porto twice, Shakhtar. The only game where you're like, wow, Barca look good was that first game against Antwerp. The otherwise, they kind of made a meal of this group. And this group is pretty competitive. Like the third place has 9 points compared to other groups. And you'll see other groups. Everybody's just feasting on Antwerp in Group H. And Antwerp, they've been competitive, but I think they have been also very naive defensively. Just defensively, they are a horror show. Absolute horror show. They got ballers, but it's just not enough. When you're going to play the Champions League, the cream de la cream, you need to raise your game, and you have to be defensively organized. Shakhtar have not been in. They've paid the price, and they are out and eliminated. And Porto and Shakhtar are going to have an interesting game for that last spot. But let's go through some of your comments before we continue. Big up to Wikitiki. Sevilla might not even... Yeah, we're going to discuss that. The teams dropping out of the Champions League into Europa League are not that strong. True. Big up to Bailey. How are you doing? I'll have to check that out, Sebastian. Barca have been very up and down this season, just have loads of individual quality to get them through. I mean, that is what a lot of Barca fans have been saying with Xavi, that the tactics haven't really worked out a lot. And I think this is a cause for Xavi to be a little bit concerned because that squad is good. I know Gavi's now out injured for a long time, but they should be playing a lot better than what they're doing right now. They should be playing a lot better. And I would be worried a little bit if I'm a Barca fan, just a little bit that, okay, does Xavi really have a handle of tactically, how do we want to go with this team? Can we get better, more output from Rafinha, Lewandowski? I mean, I don't know what to say with Lewandowski right now, man. The guy can't even control football. I mean, the age is showing, but it has creeped up quick, really quick. Big up, Evan. How you doing? Yeah, we're gonna talk about Muna. We're gonna talk about it. Big up to Matt. Says Porto stopped playing well after they scored. John Mario, the right back, had a bad game. Pepe, the winger, missed a big chance. Maybe a center subs made too late. Yeah, I would say that was the big chance I was talking about with Pepe. I mean, overall, Matt, I think like the first half, I mean, Porto were really good. But then it just seems like the second half, they just wanted to go in a low block and just defend. Like, why, Porto? You can clearly see that this Barca team, even Koundé's making a mistake and they're almost scoring. I don't know, but now all for Porto is just get the draw and you're into the next round. And Jeff says, I feel bad for Antwerp. I mean, they're their own cost. They're their own cost. Big up Diego. Off topic, but who's your dark horse for Europa League minus Atalanta? I'll go with Sporting, the other team in that group. Leva is slowing up, which is natural, but who's the up and coming forward that is looking to displace him soon? Well, Wikitiki, it is Vitor Roque, but he's not arriving at the club until January. So let us move on to the next group as let's go with the Young Boys game. So Young Boys beat Red Star Belgrade. And again, Crvena Zvezda had all the chances. They had a 1-on-1 and they fluffed their lines and they paid the price because of just two lackluster moments of not paying attention to Young Boys players. Nelilovic, own goal. It was, some of the defending from Crvena Zvezda during this group stage. I'm like, guys, you defended well against Man City in that first game. The rest of the games, it's been a horror show. And they're their own demise. Because Crvena Zvezda created chances. Of course, Young Boys had their own chances in the game, especially in the second half. They were a lot better. But Bloom getting the second goal, like, Young Boys are not going to the Europa League. Now, do I think they're a team that could possibly make it to quarters or semis in the Europa League? Not really. I don't think they've shown enough. Of course, this group is very tough when you have Man City and RB Leipzig. But I don't think Young Boys are good enough to really threaten any teams like a Bayer Leverkusen, like a Liverpool, even a Roma. I think Roma would beat these guys quite convincingly. As Savannah Svesta, I would say it's a bit disappointing considering how well they have played. That game at home that they drew 2-2 to Young Boys, they should have won that game. And then we could be having a totally different discussion here when it comes to Savannah Svesta. But they are out, and BSC Young Boys are off to the Europa League. And the other game in the group, it was a comeback victory. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, RB Leipzig 2-0 up against Man City. You just knew. That second half, Man City would turn on the style, and that's exactly what they did. But shout out Lois Openda. I mean, I talked about this guy in the summer when he was at Lens, and when RB Leipzig signed him, I was like, steal, absolute steal. I know they paid like 40 million, but in today's market where we see players like Mason Mount going for 60, Kai Havertz going for 65 million, to get Lois Openda and what he was doing at Lens for 40 million, to bring him to RB Leipzig, and they're going to sell him for like a freaking 80 to 100 million. Again, amazing business from this club, and he got the 2 goals. Just the second goal just leaves Ruben Dias. Calm finish, just waits for Guivardio to just make a little bit of a move towards him, and then he cuts it back. Boom, bottom left corner. Even the first goal, left-footed finish. But Man City are just the best team in the world, and there's no other way to explain it. They just know exactly what to do. All right, we're down 2-0. We're going to show our quality in the second half. We're going to bring on Doku, and then Doku is going to do his magic. He's going to create havoc. He's going to take on defenders, and that's exactly what happened. Haaland gets, I mean, the Haaland finish was ridiculous, by the way. That was ridiculous. Literally in the corner as much as it could be. And then Foden getting a goal. Nice to see Foden, because a lot of criticism has been going on Foden. Like, the guy is still young. Yes, of course, we would like to see him give more GA, as people like to say, but Foden is a baller, as we all know. And the Alvarez, I mean, the guy had all the time in the world to pick any corner he wanted. There was no RB Leipzig player within a circumference around him. It was so easy for Alvarez. He could order a mate, he could order empanada, and he could still put the ball in the back of the net from to pick out either corner. And Man City, defensively, a little bit of a problem, but we have seen this time and time again. They don't look great for the first first 4 months of the season, and then January, February, activation mode, and then they just turn into killers. But Lois Openda did. I mean, Ruben Dias, I think he's still one of the best center backs in the world, but he did get cooked by Lois Openda. So if, let's say, Man City go up against Bayern Munich later in the competition, and, compared to last season when you're going up against Choupo-Moting or Sadio Mane, who was on his last legs, you're going up against Harry Kane. Defensively, Man City got to be a lot better, but I would not be concerned one bit, because it's always early in the season that Man City do this, and then they just turn on the style. And they turn on the style in the second half, and RB Leipzig, it's been evident in the Bundesliga, these guys cannot defend. They cannot defend. Very good counter-attacking team with Xavi Simons. Carvalho even had a goal, but it was rolled offside very narrowly. So naive defensively. Like, Marco Rose, do something better defensively, please. Please. He doesn't. And RB Leipzig lose 3-2. And Man City have now won the group. There's pretty much nothing to play for in this group. It's actually all done. Yeah, it's all done. Man City are going to win the group. RB Leipzig are going to finish second. Young Boys are going to the Europa League. And Crvena Zvezda are leaving with absolutely nothing. And their last game is Manchester City at home. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Not a good look for Crvena Zvezda. But, yeah, look. Man City made this group easy, as we all thought they would. RB Leipzig would finish second, like we all thought they would. And then it was just a battle between who was going to finish third. And the Young Boys, they come out as the third-place team. Yeah, they were better. I still think Crvena Zvezda are a better team. It was a Openda, man, composed. Big up, Doug. I don't think I've seen Man City play as bad as they did in the first half. Could find a pass to anyone. Yeah, that long ball towards from Blaswitz, the goalkeeper, towards Lois Openda. What the heck is Akanji doing, man? It was terrible defending, but they just said, all right. Pep, I think he must have done something in that halftime. He might have gotten out the boxing gloves. I feel for Fabio Carvalho. Mike, do you think Liverpool recall him in January? No, he's going to stay there. I think Fabio Carvalho is done already at Liverpool. Nope, I'm not hearing this Foden youngster. City can play bad, but they have too much individual quality and goal scoring. Yeah, it's true, Wiki Tiki. He's got to step up, though. All right, then everybody's just bad mouthing Inter and Arsenal. Interesting talk already. Remember to hit the like button if you haven't done so already, people. Let's get up to 30 likes immediately as we get to the group of death. And oh boy, the drama begins. The drama begins. Big up AB. Royce is useless. Played the worst UCL season in years under him. Yeah, I mean, he's not useless, but I feel like just with the amount of talent that RB Leipzig have, I would say defensively, they should be doing a lot better. A lot better. But the group of death. And it continues to give us more drama, and it continues to give us more discussions and more just entertainment. And I see some people talking about, oh, nobody from this group is going to progress. Come on now. Nobody's going to progress out of this group into the quarterfinals. Do you see how competitive these games are? The only game that's been an ass whooping has been PSG Newcastle in Newcastle, and then PSG against Dortmund at home for PSG. Those are the only two games where it's been convincingly a victory for a team in this group. Otherwise, every game has just been so nail-biting. But we're going to start with Milan and Dortmund because there's a lot to discuss with the PSG Newcastle because, I mean, Dembele, first off. Dortmund. I think everybody, most people, except for probably Dortmund fans, everybody would have predicted Dortmund to finish last. Every single body. But yet again, they show experience and they just show that they just have quality that is emerging again, like Bino Gittins, Adeyemi showing up, Royce off the penalty. This game completely changed when Giroud missed that penalty. I don't know why Giroud is taking the penalty first off, because that he should not be taking it. I don't know if it should be Pulisic or somebody else, but Giroud misses the penalty the first 5 minutes. Then Calabria. I mean, how stupid can you be? Calabria with the most stupidest challenge. This guy either is going to have a great game or he's going to look like a player that you find in a park in Milan. And that game, he was a dude who was in a park in Milan. He was terrible. Gives up the penalty. Royce, I mean, just a fantastic penalty. But Milan did then, get some more momentum. They started creating more chances. And Chukwueze said, finally, I'm going to show up for Milan, and scored a brilliant goal. I mean, Chukwueze's goal was absolutely stunning. Beats one man, beats two man. And I know, obviously, Giroud kind of bodied into the goal a little bit, but it was a fantastic goal from Chukwueze. But the second half, again, more injuries. And we saw the wonderful, the fantastic, unbelievable footballer, Krunic, play a center back. Oh my God. How can Krunic? I know there's no center backs. Like almost all of the center backs for Milan are injured. But freaking Krunic at center back? Oh, it's a disaster waiting to happen. And I think for Pioli, all right, you look at your center backs. You cannot play this naive defend. Milan were way too open. Way too open at times. And it was so easy for Dortmund to just cut through them. And then you got Bino Gittins, wonderful goal. Adeyemi, Maignan has to be saving it. There is no discussion. Maignan should be saving that goal 100%. 3-1. Yeah, Milan, they did create half chances, I would say. I think, was it Pulisic who hit the crossbar? No, it was Jovic with the header that hit the post. Got to give it to Dortmund. They've gone away to Newcastle, won. They went away to the San Siro and won. And they're now top of the group. And all they need to do is just get a draw, and they top the group of death. And I can guarantee you nobody predicted that. Mats Hummels, by the way, was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic performance from Mats Hummels. I mean, look, did Dortmund have to play the best game? No. But Terzic, who a lot of people will agree with me, is not great tactically, outclassed Pioli. So what does that say about Pioli? Milan fans, let me know in the chat, or if you're watching a replay. Should Pioli be sacked? I wouldn't do so, because you have to look at the injury list. We say the same thing for Newcastle. We've said the same thing for Man United. We've said the same thing for Chelsea when they had a lot of injuries. When you have to play Krunic, who I don't like to bash players because these guys are professionals and they are way better than everybody in the chat and in the everybody on social media. They are professionals. But Krunic, I swear to God, is one of the worst footballers I have ever seen. I'm sorry. And he is coming in and playing center back against this Dortmund side with Fulkrug and Adeyemi, and it's just a disaster waiting to happen for Pioli. But tactically, I think he should have just sat back and done a counter-attack on Dortmund. That would have been a better situation for Pioli. And I see now a lot of Milan fans pissed off, which I can understand, and I can understand their frustration. But there's no Rafael Leao. You're bringing Jude cannot start anymore. Okafor is injured, and you're bringing on Jovic. This is not the Jovic from Frankfurt. This is a Jovic who I think he's forgotten how to play football as well. So it's tough for Pioli. Like, you can make arguments that say tactically you should be doing better, but also the injuries. It's hard. But Dortmund, fantastic. They just managed the game well. They didn't have to play a brilliant game. And they are now top of the group. So congrats to Dortmund. They are off to the round of 16, even though a lot of people didn't give them a chance. The other game, although before I get to the other game, shout out to Tyler Jones, buddy. Thank you very much for your kind donation. Guys, I need fire emojis and W's for Tyler Jones, who just donated 80 Aussie dollars. 80 Aussie dollar. I'm checking how much that is in euros because I have no clue what the conversion rate is. Fucking hell, Tyler. Did you rob Bowley or something? Did you get from Bowley? Tyler, hey, thank you so much for your kind donation, buddy. Thank you very much for your kind donation. I think he robbed Todd Bowley's bank account. I think that's what he did. But shout out to Tyler Jones, all the way from Aussie. Oi. I love Australia, man. I wish I could be back there. I wish I was in Port Douglas right now. Oh, if you guys knew what the weather was in Finland, just follow me on Twitter because I'm going to a football game tonight and it's going to be cold as you know what. But big up Tyler Jones. Thank you for your kind donation, buddy. The other game in this group, Jesus Christ. PSG won, Newcastle won. I don't even know where to begin with this game. Shout out to Newcastle. The first half, with all their injuries, there is, I don't know how many kids on the bench. I think there was 3 kids on the bench. You had 2 goalkeepers, and then you had Lewis Hall and I think it was Paul Dummett. That was the bench for Newcastle. If you told me that's the bench, I said they would have no chance. Newcastle played an excellent first half. They knew when to press. They knew when to move the ball, to keep the ball. Unbelievable from Eddie Howe. Yes, okay, PSG had their chances. That one move they did down the right side with Hakimi, Dembele, and then was a cut across to Mbappe, who did the back heel. That was almost a ridiculous goal. That would have been probably the best goal in the Champions League this season. But Isaac, after Livramento, who had an amazing game. Livramento. Again, there's another right back for England, but he's a right back. Where's the left back? I know there's Luke Shaw. Let's get a left back for England. But although Livramento could play there, he was amazing. Dribbles, Almiron with the shot, and then Donnarumma again. I will say this many times. I think I said this last stream when we were doing the UCL review. Vicario should be starting for the Azzurri. Not Donnarumma, Euro Roma. It should be Vicario. Because this Donnarumma, I don't know what has happened to him. He was absolutely fantastic at Milan. I don't know if it's just the money, the motivation, this or that. But he makes another mistake, and Isak is there to pounce on it. And it's 1-0 for Newcastle. And yes, PSG had their chances in the first half. Dembele, taking the shot and was hitting onto Schär. The second half was an absolute annihilation from PSG. The only problem is they had nobody to convert the chances. Barcola, Dembele. Dembele is a player who's stuck between FIFA controls and PES controls. Pretty on the eye, does wonderful dribbling, but the decision-making is, I meant to press triangle, but I accidentally pressed square. Then I meant to shoot. I accidentally crossed it. Dembele, he's a very talented footballer, and we can all see it. But my God, the decision-making is so tragically bad. They had chances. And then what happened? A penalty that should have not been a penalty. Everybody who plays football knows how on earth is Livramento able to move away from that deflection. What is Livramento supposed to do in that situation? That's why we need an explanation from UEFA. Have they given an explanation, people? Let me know in the chat. I don't think I've seen any explanation from them. And okay, we just go. All right, We'll go to the monitor. By the way, this referee is good. We all saw him at the World Cup final. He does a very good job. I don't think they showed him the video of actually hitting Livramento's chest and then the arm. They only showed the image of the arm. They didn't show the entire action. So I was like, something's fishy here. Something doesn't smell right. It's smelling like canned tuna. Even though canned tuna is pretty decent, but it doesn't smell the greatest. I was like, okay, we'll go with the penalty. Fine. All right. I'm not really a big fan of it. But then I see the rest of the games in the Champions League, and I saw countless occasions where hits the body and then the arm, not given. I said, all right, there something was going on in the background. Shefren was there. Now, I'm not putting it into the environment or in the universe, but Al-Khalafi might have done what he did to Real Madrid. Remember when they lost 3-1 and they bottled it? I think he might have done something similar because PSG were so... If we take that away, and obviously Mbappe scored the penalty, although Nick Pope almost did save it, PSG should have drawn this game. I know people can say, oh, but it's in buts, ifs and buts. The amount of chances they created, if they just had some shooting boots on, they would have easily won this game. They didn't, and Newcastle will feel absolutely robbed, as they should, because they should have won this game. The performance they put in, heroic defending, Nick Pope coming up clutch, Lascelles. Guys, Jamal Lascelles, I don't think he played a lot last season, was unbelievable on Tuesday as well. Unbelievable. And somehow, some way, it ends 1-1. And that really, it kind of feels bad as like a football fan, because you just see how much effort Newcastle put into this game to get any sort of points, because they know it is so vital to get 3 points in this group. We'll feel very aggrieved. And I think it's just a disgrace. It's a disgrace that, you know what Drogba did? It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Newcastle should have done the same thing with Eddie Howe, because that was a disgrace. It ends 1-1. PSG, you lucky, you know what. You're lucky, you know what. Now, the last game, I'm going to show you what is happening with the group, people. The last game is PSG going away to Dortmund. I need some early predictions in the chat, people. Do we think PSG, who have not been the greatest away, and we have seen that, okay, you can play the good football, but if you're that wide open away from home, you're going to get caught out. And then it's Newcastle at home against Milan. I mean, Milan got to get some players healthy. Leao's got to be healthy. I just don't see it from Milan. I don't think they're going to go away and get a result there. So I think all Dortmund have to do is, and I think really Dortmund want to do this to PSG. I think the fans of Dortmund want to do it. They want to knock out PSG. Dortmund have to beat PSG, and Newcastle have to beat... I know, actually, if it ends in a draw, that should be enough as well. Yeah. So, if Dortmund beat or draw with PSG and Newcastle win their game, Newcastle are going to round of 16. Oh my God, that is going to be fire. That is going to be fire. That last match day, because Milan still got a chance. But they would need to hope that Dortmund beat them. So, Borussia Dortmund, what is it going to be, guys? Are you going to help out Milan and Newcastle, or is Terzic going to say, let's rest some players? We will find out, as we always do. But man, this group, although people, let me know in the comments down below if you're watching a replay, which two teams are going to progress out of the group? Do you think it's going to be Borussia Dortmund? Do you think it's going to be PSG? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Pick up the Tyler, man. Pick up the Tyler again. Now we got the 31 Aussie dollars. Shout out, Tyler. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much for your kind donations and saying MVP. You're the MVP, Tyler. You're the MVP. Where in Australia you're watching from, Tyler? Let me know, because I need to go back to Australia, even though that flight from Finland to Australia is like 20-something hours. It is brutal. But thank you, Tyler, for your kind donations. Remember, everybody, to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and one more time, drop a W, Tyler, in the chat. Mona is going with Borussia Dortmund and PSG. I think somebody's going PSG. Yeah, they're already through. So Dortmund are already through, people. There's no worries there. It's just about who's going to be the second team. You're out west. Oh, so you're near Perth. Nice. I still think PSG are going to get a result. I think Terzic will rest some players, and then, although it's just about the mindset. What do you want to do if you're Dortmund? Do you want to send a statement? Or I think really Dortmund got to send a statement right here. That's what they got to do. If you want to really make a statement in the Champions League, knock out PSG. Because everybody makes fun of you. Look, the Bundesliga collapse last season was just the last straw for me. However, they have more UCL heritage than PSG ever wished they had. They have won a Champions League. They have made it to a Champions League final and were close to winning it. So show your UCL heritage and we'll see what happens the last match day, because that last match day is going to be fire, people. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Who's going to progress and in the chat. Remember to hit the like button. How many likes are we on? We are on 28. I see you guys are performing like oh na na with the like count. Now I need you guys to perform like Arsenal with the like count and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Big up to Jude. But last comment before we go to the next group. Dortmund really need a draw minimum to stay on top, and they have beaten PSG at home before. Yes, but that was with Haaland after that ridiculous goal that Haaland scored. That was the last game before the COVID outbreak, if I'm not mistaken. Next group. So Lazio are through to the next round, and they have not been good at all. That's the funny part. Lazio have been garbage. They've been garbage. But you know what the critical thing is here? Look who scored the goals in the last two games for them. They've kept clean sheets, but it's been their Capitan Immobile. But Lazio, I don't know what it is with this team. They look so dysfunctional. At times when they're going with the ball, they don't know what to do with it. They don't. Luis Alberto is trying to create. Felipe Anderson is terrible form right now. And of course they got injuries, but Lazio do not look good. But Immobile said, I'm going to carry this team. And he carried them to victory. Celtic, I mean, they did create chances, but just, again, defensively, they have to do a lot better at this level. You cannot switch off. What do? They switched off. Immobile is at the back post ready to tap it in. Come on, Celtic. You got to defend a lot better in those situations. And they're out. Well, I mean, they're already out anyways, but Immobile carries Lazio to round of 16. But if I'm any team who are in first place, you want Lazio so badly, because this team right now are not good. Don't be fooled by their 2 home wins against Feyenoord and Celtic. Okay, they're a good home side, and they could give a game to a top opponent. Away from home, these guys are nada. Nada. I think it's just Sarri either too naive or the team are not prepared well enough. But Lazio are a team you desperately want if you have won your group. The other game, gotta feel bad for Feyenoord, because they have actually been, I think, the second best team in the group, but it doesn't matter. You have to get results. Again, defensively, defensively, they were not great in this game, and they had 2 own goals. I mean, Gertrudis was a bit unlucky. Santi's was, a great header from Santi, but Santi, you got to do that to the other goal, not to your own goal. Wyford didn't make it an interesting game. Santi had a great chance in the second half, like the first 10 minutes, but he completely miskicked it. You have to do a lot better, Santi. A guy who I made a video about the rise of Santi, he needs to bury it. First time, cross. All Santi has to do, bottom right corner. It's that simple. He doesn't. Now, I want to hear your thoughts in the chat, people. Do you think Hermoso meant... I am pretty sure Hermoso did not mean to volley that, because it was a fantastic volley. I think he tried to control it, and then it somehow just looped over to the top right corner. And Atleti, dangerous on the counterattack. Morata should have scored. He was so through on goal in the first half. And I was like, oh, this Morata? Scoring. Absolutely scoring. He hits the goalkeeper, and I was like, oh, maybe we got the old Morata back. But Atleti, after last season's absolute embarrassment of finishing last in this group, can win the group with a draw against Lazio. And I think Atleti are a team you definitely don't want to play against. You don't want to play this team. 1 is because they are so good in transition. 2 is because of Griezmann and Morata right now. And 3, defensively, they look solid. They're looking a really solid team defensively. Now, Reinildo is back, the Mozambique player. He's back from his long-term injury. Lino is back from his injury. Riquelme, who I haven't seen much of him play, was fantastic against Feyenoord. This is the thing with Atleti. We know what it is with the Simeone spirit, with the Simeone structure, and just defensively how good of a team. But attacking-wise, they're looking good. I think Atleti have scored the second most goals, not just in Spain, in all of Europe. You know the only team who has scored more goals? Manchester City. Who is second? The defensive coach who just sits in a low block, Diego Simeone. So, from any first-place team, you would want to hope that Atleti win this group. Because if Atleti finish second, avoid at all costs. Avoid at all costs right now. So, I want to hear your thoughts in the chat and in the comments down below if you're watching the replay. How far do you think Atleti can make it? Because right now, I would say I'm torn between quarterfinals and semis. Of course, it depends on all sorts of stuff about matchups and these sort of things. But Atleti, I think they get a lot of disrespect from, you know which media, the English media, because Simeone, defensive coach, oh my God, hard tackling, yada, yada, crap. Atleti are a very good counter-attacking team. So for Feyenoord, I think they didn't really get to play their game. Atleti played their game. At Feyenoord, they're going to be a dangerous team, though, in the Europa League. I would not want to play them if I'm Liverpool, because that team, with the way they play with Arne Slot, I think they'll be a little bit disappointed. Maybe their lack of experience showed at times, and they don't have a really good away record, as we saw. They lost away to Lazio, even though they had chances. Atleti, they had chances. They lost the game. Their lack of experience in this competition showed, and unfortunately, they're going to lose some players. But with Arne Slot, they're always going to be in contention. Always going to be in contention. The Feyenoord are still a joy to watch, in my opinion. And they are out of this group, as now it is Atleti and Lazio who are going to finish first and second. Right now, Atleti is first, Lazio is second, and whoever wins that game, or if Atleti draw, Atleti win the group and Lazio will finish second, and Feyenoord have already secured their third spot, and Celtic. I think Doug, wait, Doug, you had a comment here. I need to bring that up. Big up to Tyler. I'll get to your super chat in a second, buddy. Thank you again, man. Tyler's got Top Bully's account, I swear to God. Doug has said here that Celtic now the first team ever to not win.
This is bad. This is very bad.
That's not good. That is not good at all. That is not good at all, Doug. 15 games. And I actually think Celtic have been pretty decent, you know. They've been pretty decent. They should have really beaten Lazio at home, but they didn't. So, that's pretty much everything for Group B. That's all the action from Tuesday. Atleti, I think they will beat Lazio. Lazio are terrible away from home. They're terrible. They got to, at least Lazio have time until the round of 16. It has to improve. It just drastically has to improve. Will it? Time will tell. Time will tell. But let's get to the Wednesday action. But before that, shout out to Tyler. I think Tyler's gotten Todd Bowley's bank account, and he's taken all the money that was going to go to 18-year-old, 19-year-old players in Brazil or Argentina, and he has decided to donate it to the Michael Talks Football. Shout out Tyler. MVP says, I'm busy, but my bad for not showing love early. I don't know, Tyler. Don't worry, bro. Tyler, thank you very much for your kind donation. People, I always say this on the channel. I don't want to ask for money. You guys have your own money. You spend it how you like. The most important thing is you just hit the like button. Because the like button, algorithm, very important for YouTube. And it just gets more people. And we have a better discussion. You guys have a better discussion in the chat. We keep it football here. Thank you very much for your kind donation, Tyler. This man has just gone crazy today with the money. And I really appreciate it, Tyler, very much so. I think you're watching from the west coast of Australia. So the only city I know in Western Australia is Perth. So if it's anything else other than Perth, you're living in paradise. You're living in paradise, buddy. Thank you, Tyler, for your kind donations. Big up to everybody. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button. Max is saying here, truly Atletico 1, Immobile 2. That's actually true, you know. Immobile 2. It's not even Lazio. It's actually just Immobile. It's just Immobile. Yes, we're going to talk about Limone Ball B team because Benfica, these guys Benfica, you know. These guys Benfica. But before we do that, Real Sociedad 0, RB Salzburg 0. Real Sociedad also did the same thing as Inter and just decided we're going to just play our B teams. Zakarian was playing it. Chu, who was a fantastic talent in Liga, he started the game. He hasn't played a lot of minutes this season. I did check out the highlights. RB Salzburg did have one chance in the second half that was really good. Real Sociedad had a couple chances, but I wouldn't say it's anything where oh my God, they should have scored from it. I think Kubo had a really good shot from outside the box. It just comes down to that last game for both teams, for Real Sociedad and RB Salzburg. At Real Sociedad, I still think they're a great team with Bryce Mendes, Merino, Zubimendi, Kubo, Rizabal, Umar Sadiq. So I wouldn't be too worried about this result. They were playing their B team. They got to rest some players. It's such a hectic schedule for this team as they don't have the biggest of squads. And Real Sociedad will be fine. For RB Salzburg, it just all comes down to that last match day as well. But the other game in this group decided to have a madness. As João Mario has scored a hat-trick against his old squad, obviously he was an absolute, one of the worst flops ever for Inter in their history, scored a hat-trick. Tengstad, who got to start the game, thank God it wasn't Arthur Cabral. Tengstad, I think, got 2 assists in the game. But Inter, who had a horrific first half, I mean, horrifically, the defending from B-Sec and these sort of guys was so bad. I know it's their B team and there's not a lot of chemistry. They don't play it together. You know, you have the likes of Arnautovic starting. That first half was terrible. From an Inzaghi side, who we know are always organized, don't give a lot of chances, they were terrible. Then, the second half, Benfica said, hold my beer, and we're going to defend terribly, because, my God, that second half was Inter all day, every day. Arnautovic from a corner, João Mario leaves him open. Nobody's tracking Arnautovic. Fratesi open in the box. Wonderful volley. But you see Otamendi push forward to one player at the edge of the box. Silva then, I don't know what he's doing. I think he was following another player. Fratesi just looking around like, hey, I got space. Let me just volley that. He could have taken a touch as well. He decided, let me just volley this with my left leg. Great finish from him. And then Sanchez from the penalty spots. Alexis Sanchez, the GOAT. Yes, Sebastian, Alexis Sanchez. And then Antonio Silva gets sent off. I mean, Benfica, this is just like, it just epitomizes what Benfica are this season in the Champions League. Bad. I could come up with a nice word. They're just bad this season. Like, Benfica are just bad in the Champions League. Defensively, they've been a horror show. I get the idea of having Arsnes as a right back and, you know, inverting and this sort of stuff. When teams are able to just counterattack on this side, it was too easy for Real Sociedad, for RB Salzburg, and for Inter. Because remember that game at the San Siro, Inter-Benfica, that should have been 6-0 if it wasn't for Trubin. Yesterday, okay, it was a little bit better from Benfica, but my God, Inter Milan. Yeah, they played a terrible first half, but they showed again. Just give Inzaghi a little bit of time. Give them a pep talk in the halftime. They come out a different side. They create chances. They played some wonderful football. Fratesi was looking good. Finally, I think that was a good sign for Inter fans that, you know, you paid some money for Fratesi. Hasn't showed a lot yet. I know he hasn't had a lot of chances. Gets the goal. Played a good game. But Benfica, my God, they have been so bad this season in Champions League. I'm honestly shocked how bad they are. They were 3-0 up and cruising. Cruise control. You can't be in cruise control in the car and just not drive the car. You got to still drive the car, Benfica. Boy, oh boy. But shout out to Inter. I still think they're one of the favorites for the Champions League. Call me crazy. I think they are. So the last game of the matchday 6, it will be Inter versus Real Sociedad. Now, I guess Inter, how does it go? Goal difference. Okay, so they're now ahead. Real Sociedad are ahead because of goal difference. So Inter have to beat Real Sociedad at home. Otherwise, Real Sociedad are going to win this group, which would be some achievement for them. Some achievement. And then Benfica and RB Salzburg. Well, Benfica, if you want to keep playing European football, you got to go away to RB Salzburg and beat them by 2 goals. It's simple as that. If you don't, then, yeah, it will be fine then. So Benfica, they just got to go away to RB Salzburg and beat them by 2 goals. Do you trust them to do that? Nope. But the Inter Real Sociedad game, oh, that's going to be good, you know. That is going to be some game at the San Siro. Is that the early kickoff or is it later kickoff? Please let it be the early kickoff. Damn, it's the late kickoff. I would have done a watch along if it was the early kickoff. But yeah, people, let me know. What's your early prediction? Do you think it's going to be Real Sociedad who top the group? Do you think it's going to be Inter Milan who top the group? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. And if you're watching a replay, right now, I would give the edge to Inter because they're at home. But Real Sociedad or some team. There's some team, people. I think we can all agree on that. They are some wonderful team. This guy, Tyler Jones, buddy. Thank you. Hey, man. You know what? Standing ovation from the Santiago Bernabeu because Tyler Jones has put in a Jude Bellingham performance today. Thank you, Tyler. Man, thank you very much for your kind donations. You didn't have to donate that much. You know you don't have to donate that much, but here's for you, Tyler. There you go, Tyler. Shout out to him. He said another 31 Australian Aussie dollars. He said last one by people. Oh yeah, MVP. Tyler, MVP. MVP, Tyler. I think you hacked Todd Bowley's bank account, but if you did, thank you very much. And shout out to Todd Bowley and shout out to Tyler Jones for his kind donations, man. Kind donations, bro. He just went crazy today. Absolutely crazy. Shout out, Tyler. Yeah. Infinity money glitch. Shout out, Tyler. How are you doing, buddy? All right, everybody. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. As we get to Group C, we're getting into the Gala, Man United. I know everybody wants to talk about Galatasaray and Manchester United. But Braga, Union Berlin, early red card for Braga in the game. They still created all the chances in the game. Really, I think that was a good result for the Portuguese league, especially because it helps with coefficient. And Braga were still the better team than Union Berlin in the match. That just shows you how poor Union Berlin have been this season. They have struggled so much with injuries and so much with confidence that I think they're not bottom. They're second bottom because who's bottom? FC Köln are bottom of the Bundesliga. They get the goal because of Gosens. Really nice goal, by the way. That finish from Gosens was nice. Jallo, the dude had about 3 chances in the first half. I think he should have scored at least one of them. Gets a chance in the second half. I was so shocked at how open Union Berlin were to concede that goal because Jallo has all the space, finds just a yard of space, carries with the ball, shot, boom, 1-1. I think Braga should have won that game. If, in all honesty, with the amount of chances Braga had, they should have won that game. But they are still within a chance of qualifying to the round of 16. Yes. And I'll explain in a second. But shout out Braga. They've been really impressive. I mean, like, Arthur George has done an amazing job. They've been competitive in every game. Even away at the Santiago Bernabeu, Braga were competitive in that game. And this Jallo guy, he's pretty decent, though. He's a decent player. The other game in this group, well, I thought it was going to be a draw, and I thought there was going to be a lot of injuries in the game because obviously Jude Bellingham. But obviously, I filmed the episode of the predictions. I think I filmed it Wednesday. Yeah, no, Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I thought, Jude Bellingham's not going to play. Victor Osimhen's not going to play. Napoli with Walter Mazzarri coming into the job. Maybe they have a little bit of a bounce back. I thought 1-1. Man, Madrid, with all of these injuries, somehow just keep performing. Ancelotti is just a magician. He's a magician because with all of these players injured like Vini, no Camavinga, no Tchouaméni, Militao out, Courtois out, he said, all right, cool. We adapt, but we still play some amazing football. Simeone gets the first goal in the game. One wonderful cross from Kivara, back post towards Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo cut back. Simeone, 1-0. And then Rodrigo. I don't know what happens to him when he puts the Seleção kit, but he's a complete... I think he's from Sweden when he puts the Seleção kit. Shout out to my Swedish people. He's a Swedish player. When he puts the Real Madrid kit, then he's Jogo Bonito Brazilian player. Because that goal he scored over the weekend against was it Cadiz? The goal he scored yesterday against Napoli, unbelievable, just craziness from Rodrigo. Hopefully he can continue this form because he needs some confidence. Those performances for Brazil, I'm like, what? Come on, Rodrigo, you can do a lot better. Real Madrid, he goes back to it. Oh, there we go. He goes back to it. Then. Hola, Jude. What a cross from Alaba. The header from Bellingham? What can we say? What is in the chat and watching a replay? What's the best word? And I only want one word to describe Jude Bellingham right now. because this guy is insane. It's not even just getting the goals and the assists, because he got the assist for Joselu with that wonderful pass. But it's just an all-around game, close control. He's a monster. He's an absolute monster. So give one word, only one word. People, don't give me two like Ola Jude. Give me one word, best describing Jude Bellingham right now. Nico Pass comes off the bench. I think that was his first goal for Real Madrid. Great goal. I think he left Causte, the Swedish midfielder. Okay, Meret should be saving that. I'm not gonna lie. He should be saving that, no doubt. But that was a great goal from Nico Pass. The little feint he gave to give himself space, gets the shot off, goes into the bottom left corner. Meret should be saving it, but wow. I mean, Real Madrid keep doing it. They keep doing it. Imagine if they had a fully, okay, obviously it's difficult to say fully fit squad. Imagine if they just had Tchouaméni, Camavinga, and Militao. You can leave Courtois and then add Vin. Real Madrid are playing great. I know Anguissa scored the goal. It was a nice volley. Napoli defensively have been so bad this season. At least last season, they had a bit more structure, and obviously Kim Min-jae was a huge part of that. But Napoli are so easy to play against. That is the one thing Mazzarri has to do with this team. Get them a bit more organized. Guevara didn't have his greatest game. He did not play that well, in my opinion. He had bright moments here and there. It's just Real Madrid are too good. And Napoli, I think they're a team in low in confidence. And also, I just don't feel like there's any sort of, I wouldn't say passion, but I just feel like any drive from this Napoli team. I think they're just happy. They won the Serie A for the first time in a long time. Is there any more motivation for this team? Maybe they just know Osimhen, he's going to leave next summer. Could Guevara even leave next summer? And they're going to go into another rebuild. They've done it in the past when Cavani, Higuain, when they've left. Napoli are used to this. So it was absolutely amazing to see. But Real Madrid, Bellingham. Special, crazy, good, elegant, special, masterpiece. Jeff, you're a mad. You're a mad, Jeff. You're a mad. Because I here says game changer, especial, the chosen. So Mourinho is the chosen one of managers. Is Jude Bellingham the chosen one of players? Let me know your thoughts, people. But yeah, Real Madrid, great performance. Napoli, they did. I feel like Napoli played a decent game, but it's just defensive, like Rahmani as well. What the heck has happened to Rahmani? Natan, okay, a little bit careless on the ball, could be a little bit better. But I think just Napoli, they're definitely going to have a lot of changes next summer. I don't think Mazzarri is going to be the new coach. Could be going a totally new direction. And you really got to blame De Laurentiis for this. You hired Rudy Garcia. You're hiring people who, the social media team, when they put those videos out for Osimhen. I love Napoli. We all love Napoli. It's just a fantastic story last season. But right now, like the midfield, like Zielinski, Lobotka, and Guisa, just not there anymore. And they lost 4-2. Now, they got to be careful, though. Because if Braga beat Napoli, Braga are going to round of 16. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I would still fancy Napoli, especially at home. But Braga still have a chance. Now, Union Berlin still have a chance of getting Europa League football. They need to beat Real Madrid, which, with the way Union Berlin are playing, I don't think there's any chance for them right now. But maybe Braga. You know what? I think Braga could do it. They got nothing to lose. Obviously, okay, maybe they might not get Europa League football, so they might go there and try and go for a draw. They're going to be looking at the Union Berlin result. Fascinating. But Real Madrid have won this group. 13 goals scored. 5 wins out of 5. Amazing performances from them. And Bellingham, I think he scored in every game in the group stage. Right? No, wait. One, that game. The only game he didn't score was Braga at home. My God, what a player. What an absolute player he is. That's not good, Ant. That's not good. Braga, attacking masterpiece. We will be there. MM is hoping for it. And you know what else is hoping for it? Arsenal fans. Because Arsenal fans, you guys are a funny bunch. I gotta be honest. You guys are a funny bunch. Actually, Now, let's go first with Sevilla and PSV. Sevilla, absolutely the better team in the first half. They controlled the game. Sergio Ramos getting a goal from a Rakitic free kick. And you thought Sevilla controlled the game. I think it was then Acuna with an absolutely wonderful pass to En-Nesyri. En-Nesyri lobs it over the keeper, 2-0. I thought Sevilla, they might actually want to play Champions League football. We all clown them for wanting to play Europa League football, but we'll get to that in a second. Sevilla controlled the game. And then Mr. Ocampos, or Señor Ocampos, que estúpido. Ay, que estúpido. So stupid, Ocampos. The second yellow he gets, like he's an experienced player, he gets second yellow for a tackle that has no business doing. There is no reason for Ocampos to make that challenge. Gets a second yellow, sent off, and that's where the game completely changed. Completely changed right there. Because after that, PSV said, we got nothing to lose, and let's just go all-out attack. This, I don't know how old Zaibari is. I think he's 21, 22, the Moroccan midfielder. People, go check out that goal. That was a sick volley. Absolutely sick volley. Now, I need to remember, because I was watching both games, but I was obviously paying attention more to Galatasaray. There was a player that came onto the field because Chucky Lozano got injured. Let me just remind myself who it was. This guy, Vertisen, how old is he? 22. This Belgian forward, Vertisen, changed the game. He changed the game. He was involved in all three goals. All three goals. Unbelievable from Vertisen. I think he put the cross into Zaibari. No, it was Dest, sorry. It was Dest. Vertisen put in the cross to Pepe. Obviously, Godel own goal from Vertisen, who tried to cut back it. And then Pepe. Ricardo Pepe, the U.S. striker, said, let's end this right here. 3-2 PSV. Epic comeback. Epic comeback. But this could have been all avoided if Ocampos didn't get red carded. I'm sorry to any PSV fans. There was no way. I think Sevilla would have just controlled the game. Defensively would have locked it up. They were 2-0 up, and I thought they were in cruise control. But then all of a sudden, the game just completely changed and they bottled it. They bottled it, Sevilla. And PSV, what a victory. What a victory to get yourselves into the round of 16 because PSV have now qualified to the round of 16. They are a very dangerous team because we know how Peter Bosz likes to play a very attacking brand of football. It's very naive defensively, and that is something you cannot do against Man City. You cannot do against Bayern. You cannot do against Real Madrid because you will get destroyed. But they're entertaining watching. With the players they had off the bench, like Vertisen, like Ricardo Pepe, who made a difference in the game. Actually, I think Zaibari came off the bench as well, didn't he? Wow. You just see the squad depth that PSV have. Zaibari came off the bench. Pepe came off the bench. Vertisen, who was involved in all three goals, came off the bench. Noah Lang is still injured. Wow. Got to give it to PSV, man. Really, really fun team to watch. They have a perfect record in the Eredivisie so far, 13 out of 13, and deservedly are in to the round of 16. Yeah, we'll give some credit. I mean, he's still a bozo, AD. I'm sorry. I'm still pissed off at him with that red card in the USA, but he was really good yesterday. I got to give it to him. The other game in this group, Arsenal said, yeah, we don't score a lot of goals. We get criticized for not playing an expansive brand of football. Okay, watch this. They said 6-0, love set, match for Arsenal as they destroyed Lens. It was a demolition, annihilation, statement win for Arsenal. And 6 different goal scores. That's crazy. Like, having 3 is crazy. 6? 6. Like I told you, I've been trying to tell people, Arsenal are UCL contenders. But people don't want to admit it because it's Arsenal. Okay, you can tell me that it's Lens, that it's Sevilla, that it's PSV. Michael, it's a Europa League group. Who are these teams? Okay, Sevilla are a very experienced European team. Of course, they're not the same Sevilla with the same manager. I understand. PSV have a perfect record in the Eredivisie and would give a lot of teams a tough match. And then you have Lens, who I thought we're an organized team under Frank Heise, but decided to just say, okay, I know Lens needed the result because they had to match PSV in order to progress. You cannot be that wide open against this Arsenal team. They got cut. That was a plastic Kim Kardashian surgery by Arsenal on Lens. They destroyed them. Havertz getting a goal. Gabriel Jesus, wonderful goal to fake it with his left, bring it back to his right, and boom, bottom left corner. Saka, kind of lucky with that goal, to be honest. It goes off his chest. Martinelli, great goal. I mean, the pass from Tomiyasu to play to... Maybe Tomiyasu didn't really mean that pass. Goes to Martinelli, dribble. Ødegaard, wonderful finish. And then Jorginho, penalty spot. Arsenal just showed in this game that if you allow this team space, and with the ballers that they have, they can score a lot of goals. And they can be frightening. The one thing maybe is that, okay, Arsenal, maybe not the most clinical of sides, but they got a lot of talent going forward. They haven't really shown a lot of attacking prowess in this game, or in this season, excuse me. But last night, they just said, I got 6 on it. Can we play Lens every week? But Lens, I mean, talk about a terrible performance defensively. We should give a lot of credit to Arsenal. But Lens were so bad defense. Like Samba, the goalkeeper, who was really great last season for Lens and then finishing second, was so bad. He was so bad. Defensively, all 3 center backs were terrible. How can you play, like, if I'm not mistaken, I think Lens played a back 5. How do you play a back 5 and you concede 6 goals and be that wide open? How? How? Like, I know Arsenal are a really good team, and I've been very consistent this season in saying that Arsenal are UCL contenders. But Lens, these guys are no bums, and these guys are no, like, okay, they're an Antwerp who haven't been in, okay, well, Lens haven't been in the Champions League for a while. But they're an experienced team with guys like Samba, with Frankowski. Oh, even Haidara, Medina, these guys are good players. Mendy, who's former Leicester. Well, he did nothing in the game, by the way. Did nothing. My God. Arsenal were just fantastic. And they were just super clinical. Now, I saw some people say, oh, watch out. Arsenal, they're marching their way to the Champions League victory. Calma. You know how Garnacho did the celebration, the Ronaldo celebration? Calma. Take the victory, be happy, and it just shows that Arsenal are a very dangerous team against low blocks and against teams that are playing more expensive. But Arsenal fans, take a chill pill. This is not the knockout stage. When the knockout stage appears, then we're going to see what this Arsenal team are made of. But hey, there are good signs, and they are really a team you don't want to play against. I think if both Man City and Arsenal match up in like a quarterfinal, wow, that would be some game. That would be some game to watch. And Arsenal just destroyed Lens. Now, let me know, people in the chat, and if you're watching a replay, how far do you think Arsenal can go in the Champions League? I still think they can make it to the semis. I've been very consistent on that. You guys know, Sebastian knows. I have said I think Arsenal can easily make it to a semis in the Champions League this season. If you don't believe me, ask Sebastian. But it just depends on matchups. If they get a Man City in the quarterfinals, tough. If they get an Inter will not be this naive. Inzaghi will not be this naive. He will play his low block, and he will hit Arsenal on the counterattack. And we'll see how Arsenal deal with it. On to Sevilla. These guys, I swear to God. Oh. All they have to do is beat Lens away, and guess which competition they go to, people? These Lens, for everybody in Europe, beat or draw with Sevilla and go to the Europa League. You deserve it. Not Sevilla. We know what games Sevilla are doing. We're not fooled. We can't see anything. Sevilla, we see right through you. We know what you're doing. You're trying to drop down to the Europa League. Really? You're the only Spanish team, Real Sociedad, Real Madrid, Atletico, Barça, have all made it to the round of 16, while you just said, against Lens and PSV, who we have more Champions League and Europa League experience than these guys in the last 20 years, we'll just go, even though PSV have made it to a semi when Milan made it to the final. We're just gonna lie down. We're just gonna bottle 2-0 leads. We're not gonna even perform at the Emirates. Come on, Sevilla. Come on, man. Get some, like, you are the kings of the Europa League. No doubt. In the Champions League, what's the point of even showing up if you don't want to play? What's the point? So, Arsenal have won the group, convincing. PSV, second place. Nothing will change as they have the head-to-head against Lens. So, it all comes down to Lens and Sevilla, and all Lens need to do, just get the draw, and they are going to the Europa League, and I hope they do it because the club fully deserve it. They fully deserve it. And shout out Arsenal. Let's see what they can do in the final match day against PSV, although I would presume that they are going to rest a lot of players. Shout out Tyler, bro. Thank you for, again, people, put spam fire emojis. Just spam fire emojis. Just spam the fire emojis, man. Just spam them all. Shout out Tyler once again for the kind donation. He says, Arsenal need to keep it up for a few more months. I see the vision, though. I honestly, Tyler, I know you watch a lot of Prem content, I think, at least, I presume. And I think a lot of people, they just so tribalistic when talking about Arsenal. And here, I'm not, look, I can talk fair about United. I can talk fair about Chelsea. I can talk fair about Man City. I could say we give them praise. And I know when to criticize Liverpool. And I know when to give praise to Liverpool. I can see with Arsenal, and I can say that Arteta, while they haven't had a great season, in a sense where they're playing really good football and, neutrals are even thinking to themselves, man, Arsenal are the best team in the world. I think Arteta and Arsenal understand this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. You don't need to be Usain Bolt. You need to be Mo Farah. And right now, they could be doing a Mo Farah double. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win the Premier League and Champions League, but what I'm saying is they are looking good. If they can they just have to play with that fluid style, even against the low block. Now, of course, it's more difficult against the low block, and maybe that's where you need sort of a Kai Havertz who just needs to develop his game more, even though, he's done pretty well in the last couple games. But yeah, we'll see what happens, Tyler. I'm either going to look like a genius and say, hey, Arsenal are in the semis, or I'm going to look dumb and they get knocked out in the round of 16, and it just shows that Arsenal don't have European heritage. It's going to go either way, but thank you, Tyler, again for your kind donation, buddy. My God, Tyler. You have either taken Todd Bowley's bank account or you've taken Nasser Al-Khelafi's bank account, and you said, let me donate it to Michael Talks Football channel. Really appreciate it, Tyler. I mean, honestly, means a huge lot, and everybody just keep spamming fire emojis for Mr. Tyler Jones, and shout out to everybody. Shout out, Jeff. My last few comments, something Jeff, do you support Arsenal, Jeff? Is this what's going on here? People are saying quarters max. They are. And this is why I don't take anything serious on any social media. Honestly, this is why I don't take anything serious on social media when it comes to fans, because, fans get carried away, which is fine. Then get your eyes and get your ears. Look at the opponents. Look at the rest of Europe. And say, okay, we performed well against Lens. How can we do this against Man City? How can we do this away at the Santiago Bernabeu? How can we do this away against Bayern? How can we do this away against Inter? Arsenal fans, do you want to play Atletico? I'll wait, because that is one opponent that Arsenal definitely do not want to play, is Atletico de Madrid. But we have one final group, people. We have one final group. And if you haven't done so already, we are almost at 50 likes. Shout out to Tyler for the kind donations. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around the world. 44 likes. Can we get to 50 likes before the end of the stream? And shout out to everybody. Because, well, first off, Bayern and FC Copenhagen. Again, FC Copenhagen, they could have won this game. El Yunusi had a chance in the final 5 minutes. I think it was down the right. I was watching the highlights. I wasn't able to watch the game. But El Yunusi had a great chance. Bayern, okay, they were crying for a penalty at the end. Obviously, the referee didn't give it. Obviously, a lot of criticism for the referee. She went to the monitor and said, "No, it's not penalty." I think, okay, it's debatable. Close range, it hits his hand. Is it really outside the body? I don't think so. I don't think it's a penalty. Bayern, did they play their best game? No, but they've already won this group. So what matters? What matters? FC Copenhagen, man, they're such a, like, I really respect FC Copenhagen because they're such an organized team. They know when to press, know when to sit in a low block. Really good. Even though they might not have the talent, people, we understand they don't got the talent. They still could have won this game. That's the crazy part. But it all comes down to the last game for them, and we'll talk about the circumstances that are going on. In Istanbul, it was a complete and utter different story. Because, put a 1 in the chat if you agree this was the match of the season so far in the Champions League, or put a 2 if you think it was something else, because this game was just insane. It was insane. I mean, shout out to both teams for giving us an entertaining game, early kickoff on yesterday, because I was just watching, and I was editing something, and I was like, this is fantastic. None of this all possession, let's just rotate it. Both teams just said, F it. Let's just go with the goals. Goals. What matters? I respect that. That's the football we all want to see. We want to see entertaining football. Garnacho, another golazo. Beautiful play by Manchester United. I think it was Højlund who laid it off to Garnacho, left-footed, top bins into the roof of the net. Garnacho is saying, calma. Man is just doing the calma celebration, sushing. I said, hey, Garnacho, fair play. You know what, people? We can't have players that are just like, oh, yeah, cool, I scored a goal. I won't go to the fans. Okay. People, sometimes you got to rile them up. The Galatasaray fans were unbelievable, by the way. That tifo they had, welcome to hell. That was for one player, and we'll get to that player. Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes, que golazo. He didn't have, I would say, his best game, but that golazo from Fernandes was unreal. Nothing Muslera could have done in goal. Nothing. And then it begins. Galatasaray had all the chances in this game. Now, people can say, oh, yeah, United were bad defensively. Galatasaray, again, they played such a good game. Ziyech was unbelievable. Him, I would say Lucas Herrera were great. Bowie, again, the right back, he's not going to be at Galatasaray next season. He's going to another club next season, probably a Premier League club, because Bowie, that guy's a really good right back. Okay. First question is, should Onana be doing better on the free kick, or did Galatasaray just perfect that free kick? The first goal, of course, for Ziyech. I can't lie. I think it's just perfection from Galatasaray. They fooled Onana. Onana bit the bait and scored it. So I think it was a great goal from Ziyech. But they had chances. I think Icardi had a chance. Who else had a chance? It was some other player. Zaha had a couple of chances. Like, it's not like, oh, Galatasaray were lucky to get the first goal. They tested Onana. Onana made a brilliant save on one of the chances. Then we get to the second half. Galatasaray keep on creating more chances. McTominay, wonderful goal from United. Beautiful play from Anthony Wan-Bissaka. It was Dalot, excuse me. Cross in. McTominay, McSauce, another goal. This guy just can't stop scoring at times, it seems like. McSauce gets the goal. And then Mr. Andre Onana. Okay, if you want to say maybe he couldn't really do better for that first goal, that second goal is all on Onana. This is the thing, though. You know what's the funniest thing with United this season? Is that they have actually played really well, I would say, in a lot of the games in the Champions League. They were good against Bayern away. Onana mistake. They were good against Galatasaray at home. Onana mistake. They were really good away from home in FC Copenhagen. Rashford red card. They've just imploded on themselves. I don't think it has to do anything with the opponent. Of course, the opponents have to have play a part and, have the willingness to attack Manchester United for the defense that is just not reliable at all. But United have been the better team. Like, we cannot deny that, people. They were the better team. They had it fully in control. But it's just like this team, once they feel adversity, collapse. And when it's one player, it's two players, it's three players. And that was Onana yesterday. I don't know what on earth. No goalkeeper can explain to me what Onana's doing on that second goal. It looks like he's trying to punch it, like he's Conor McGregor in boxing, and then realizes, oh, I shouldn't be doing that. I should be trying to catch it or push it away, parry it away. But it just seems like he was stuck in two minds. I don't know if it's just the crowd that got to him or if it's just the occasion. I don't know what happened to Onana. Because he's actually played well against Everton. He played well against what was the game before? Who did United play before the international break? I can't remember. But Onana's played well. We haven't talked a lot about Andre Onana. And then all of a sudden, guess who's back? Back again. Oh, no. Oh, no. But that third goal, I really don't think you can put a lot of blame on Onana. I think the goal from Aktogoglu was just amazing. The movement, Ziyech's pass into Aktogoglu, nothing the United defense was way too open. When you're 3-2 up, have some structure. Have a little bit more of a low block. Nope. And then Aktogoglu scores the goal, 3-3. But United had chances. If Pelistri had a football brain yesterday, because he is a good player, Pelistri. I've seen it with Uruguay. He is a good player, and he's got a footballing brain. Yesterday, he just thought about the goal. He was selfish. Way too selfish. United could have won this game. They had chances. But I understand Galatasaray, right? I understand Galatasaray. You want to be open. You want to be expansive. But then there is just suicidal defending. And that was from Galatasaray yesterday. They just left themselves way too open. Have some structure, guys. You had structure against Bayern. You only limited them to 2 goals from Harry Kane's brilliance in the last 10 minutes. Yesterday, I think it could have been avoided. I think it could have been very much avoided from a United's perspective and a Galatasaray's perspective. But my God, what a game. But this game is all on Andre Onana. It is all on him. I don't put any blame on Ten Hag. Yeah, you could say subs. Amrabat didn't have a good game. Put in Mainu. The funny thing is, I'll get to your super chats, people. Thank you very much for your kind donations again, man. Big up to everybody in the chat, by the way. Big up the chat. Anthony actually had his best game of the season. Anthony had his best game of the season, people. I need to take the hat off for this. Anthony had his best game of the season, and they still lost. He had his best game of the season, they still lost. Do you know how sad that is for United fans? Oh, I feel bad. Okay, I don't really feel bad because I'm a Liverpool fan, and obviously United losing is fun. But that is the standards. I think for Galatasaray, they played a heck of a game. They could have won this game. Even Zaha, the last 10 minutes, the guy had 2 chances. If he just played the smart pass, could have been a golazo for Galatasaray. But he just thought as well, just like Pelistri, I want the goal and the glory. Selfishness. Otherwise, this game could have been 4-3 for either team. And we would be having a totally different discussion here. But instead, we're going to the final game of the group. But shout out to both teams. I mean, people, what do you think? Do you think United should have won the game because they had total control and then Onana lost the game for them? Well, it feels like a loss for United. They were 3-1 up. You cannot be drawing that game. Or do you think Galatasaray actually deserved the draw because they did play a good game? Let me know your thoughts in the chat and if you're watching a replay. So, heading into the last game. All Man United can do is they have to beat Bayern at home. Now, we have no clue what... Yeah, by the way, Icardi, that was a disaster. He played one to Icardi yesterday. He was so... So bad. Oh my God. So he tried to do a chip pass and it didn't even leave the ground. Icardi was terrible. Okay, so all Bayern can do, Bayern have won the group. All Man United have to do is they have to beat Bayern. It's just as simple as that. The other game, though, is basically a play-in into the round of 16. Galatasaray have to win, and pretty much I would say FC Copenhagen have to win. In Copenhagen, bro, that game is going to be electric. That atmosphere, I might have to do a watch song for FC Copenhagen and Galatasaray. I think it's going to be fireworks, that game. Oh, I cannot wait. It's going to be so entertaining, the drama. But this group, other than Bayern, look at the team. Like, how can Man United be bottom of the group? You've scored 12 goals. I don't think I've ever seen that in the Champions League. They have scored 3 away in Munich, lost. They scored 3 away in Copenhagen, lost. They scored 3 away in Istanbul, tough ground to go to, and drew. I would be absolutely sick knowing that United, if I'm a United fan, that, man, we played well. It's just our own downfall. That's pretty much it. And now they are bottom of the group, and they have to hope. The only way United can advance to the round of 16 is if FC Copenhagen and Galatasaray draw. I don't think it's going to end in a draw, to be honest, because I think Galatasaray, they're just going to push forward and try and find the goals. And FC Copenhagen will think to themselves, we got to win this game. You got to have the mentality for FC Copenhagen. So for United, it's looking difficult, but they're not out of it. And Bayern, yeah, they've won the group. Bayern have won the group, and they got nothing to play for, pretty much indeed. But let me get to a couple of super chats as people have been donating again. Shout out to Eric, man. What a crazy stream, people. What a crazy week in the Champions League. Remember to hit the like button on your way out. Big up to Tyler. Says, when I say MVP, I meant that. No, Tyler, big up, bro. Big up, bro. Thank you very much for your kind donations. It really means a lot. MVP is you, bro. MVP is definitely you. You said nobody on YouTube is more knowledgeable about football or covers more. Hey, thank you very much, Tyler. This is why this is not called the Michael Talks Prem. This is not called the Michael Talks La Liga. This is Michael Talks Football. We cover everything. We cover Asian Cup. So, Tyler, if you follow the Socceroos, I'll be covering the Asian Cup here on the channel. So we're going to be definitely doing a lot of that in January. So join me for that. Cover everything. CONMEBOL. It's football, people. It's the game we love. Doesn't matter. I don't like to be so tribalistic. We all love the game of football. And it means a lot that you donate this money. It means a lot, buddy. Thank you very much for your kind donations today. Big up, Tyler. Big up, Tyler. One last time, people, for Tyler. Spam fireworks for Tyler and for Doug as well, because he has donated 10 of the finest British pounds. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Doug, very much for your kind donation, buddy. And remember to go check out his channel. Even though he is a dad right now, he's got a young baby, but maybe he'll get back to the YouTube content very soon. Man United have hit the self-destruction button. 2-0 is a very dangerous scoreline for them. True. But yeah, they were 2-0 up against FC Copenhagen as well. Oh my God. Onana has cost them a lot in games this season. Facts. Does this is a very tough name for me. Does Aldiunud come in now? Isn't it Boyinder? Isn't it Boyinder, the backup goalkeeper's name? Newcastle versus Man United is going to be fire. Yeah, it's going to be a great game, that game. What do you do with Onana? Like, he's shown that, okay, I can bounce back and have a good game. But then he goes back to this performance yesterday. So what do you do, people, with Onana? Do you drop him? Or do you just say, we got to deal with it and move on? What do you do if you're United? It's tough. It's a tough situation because Onana did have a couple good saves, and then he makes the mistake for the first goal. Then he makes a mistake for the second goal. The third goal, I actually think, is just a better finish from Autokoglu, if I'm going to be honest. But yeah, Doug, thank you very much for your kind donation, buddy. And that game is it Saturday? It's the late kickoff on Saturday. And although United fans can go get drunk in Newcastle that day, but yeah, that game between Newcastle and Man United is going to be fire. Big up, Doug, for your kind donation. Big up, Jeff. Muchas gracias if you are Hispanic. Thank you, Jeff. Muchas gracias. He says, I'm sorry, Mike, but my reaction after Arsenal winning. Plus, hits the gritty. Yeah, hit the gritty. Big up, Jeff, for your kind donation. Yeah, Arsenal, fantastic win even though you're not an Arsenal fan, which is hilarious to me. It's fucking I actually don't know what club Jeff supports, by the way. I have no clue. I think he's a Club America fan. Maybe he's an Arsenal fan in disguise. I have no clue. But Jeff, thank you for your kind donation, buddy. And then shout out to Doug one last time. He says, as a Liverpool fan, I love a 3-3 in Istanbul.
I love this game.
I love this game. Big up, Doug, for your kind donation. I love a 3-3 as well in Istanbul. You're an Arsenal and Club America fan. Jeff, how can you be losing to Leon, even though it's the first leg? But you lost 1-0. Big up, Angel. What do you think about Sasha Bowie right back? Yeah. I did talk about him before the group stage started. I said, keep an eye on this Sasha Bowie guy. He's been sick. He's been awesome. He's really been awesome, if I'm going to be honest. Zooey says we could score 6 or 7. He's talking about United and against Bayern and still. That's just the state of Manchester United. They can score all these goals. They can play. Wait, who lost 1-0, Jeff? Wait, I swear Club America lost. Oh, they drew 2-2. Henry Martin got 2 goals. I don't know what happened, Jeff. I think it was another team. Oh, no, it was Monterrey that lost 1-0. Sorry. It was Monterrey that lost 1-0. Yeah, it's a difficult situation for United because I actually think they've played pretty well in the Champions League, but it's just been their own self-destruction like Doug talked about. They only have themselves to blame for being out of this competition. Nobody else except themselves, and it's not looking good right now, and it could be a group stage exit for Manchester United. Will it be the Europa League they go to or no European football at all? We will find out on the final match day, and we will find out in a couple weeks, people, as we still have 4 teams that have not secured spots in the round of 16. So we will be covering it with the predictions. And, of course, we will be reviewing the group stage of the Champions League when the final match day is over. But big up to everybody. I got to go, people, because I got to go to the football game. It is going to be freezing cold. Remember to follow me on the socials, Instagram and Twitter. New Discord as well. Link to that is in the description down below. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button. Big up to Doug. Big up to Tyler. I mean, big up to Tyler for your kind donations and Jeff Serrano. Everybody, have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. And give your thoughts in the comments down below if you haven't done so already. Adios and have a beautiful day. Also, one last thing. Saturday, draw for the group stage of the European Championship, aka the Euros. We're doing a live draw reaction. I think I've set it to 4:30 UK time. So join me for that. And adios.